Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Moments. I am your host, Patricia Ribeiro-Wolfson, and I am a coach and an energy practitioner who helps people simplify transformation through the Me First method, something that I developed over 12 years ago. And I have used this method with clients and personally to overcome some really challenging times. So that's what I'm here for. And today we're going to talk about how to calibrate your energy and why should you care? Well, I'm going to tell you. Calibrating your energy in the way I talk about it is the act of making adjustments to your energetic field, right? Your energy body by shifting your mood or your perspective so that you can get into alignment with what you want most in life and what's in your highest and greatest good. One of the ways of identifying your energetic field is through your mood. You can kind of tell where your energy's at depending on how you feel, right? That seems pretty logical. And when everything is in flow, or the way I refer to it here a lot of the times is in alignment, you feel it. And it is reflected in how you move through the world. And when things are out of flow or out of alignment and kind of wonky, it is also reflected in how you move through the world. Like you can see how it changes. And the reason that you should care about this specifically, aside from the fact that you want to care about your mood and you care about how you feel about things, the reason that you should care about calibrating your energy is because your frequency can affect the experiences that you have along the road of life. So just as you might see different things on a road trip, depending on which route you can take the scenic route, you can go the highway all the way, you might want to stop along the way and see some, fun sideshow attractions, right? You're going to come up against different challenges in life when you choose a different road, when you travel in a different way on your personal journey, right? And so I always like to use the driving and car analogy, which is why I also talk about the GPS, which we'll talk about a little more. But that GPS, that sort of really, we know the GPS to be the global positioning system, right? And we all have sort of an inner GPS. And that inner GPS dictates how we go where we want to go. And when we make adjustments, when I talk about calibrating our energy and we're making adjustments so that we can stay on track with the GPS, right? Like when you start taking a different road, you go a different way, the GPS says recalibrating, right? Because it's like, are you sure you want to go this way? Because if you're going to go this way, we got to change the route, right? So part of you calibrating your energy is you shifting, changing, and making modifications based on where you are in the moment and where you want to go. Okay, so that's really what it's about. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about different ways to calibrate your energy for your highest and greatest good. Okay, so first, before we get started with all that, let me just tell you, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com and then just put the @MeFirstMoments and then ding that bell so that you can get a notification anytime I have a new video, which generally speaking is during the week, Monday through Friday, is when I'm normally posting videos. Let me turn off my phone so that it doesn't keep beeping. Here we go. Okay, thank you. Nothing urgent or important. Yay. Okay, also, let me remind you about your special gift. If you want a free gift, which is the free Me First Quick Reference Guide, you can go into the description. It's at bit.ly, Me First Free Guide is what you type in, and it includes how to calibrate your energy, which we're going to talk about today. Really, we're going to talk about, today and tomorrow, this week, I'm going to talk to you more specifically about how to calibrate your energy and what you can do in order to calibrate. And this free gift, this quick reference guide gives you just quick pointers on how to calibrate your energy, the Me First Mornings ritual, I still have it as Me First Mornings. It's not Me First Mornings. But yes, the Me First ritual, the quick GPS activity, a daily ABC exercise, and a simple guide to manage stress, which we can always use a little support in managing stress. I know I could use that on a daily basis. Okay, so let's begin our little routine. And I like to do this with you guys because this is the practice. This is what I believe when you are feeling dysregulated, when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling stressed, when you're just out of alignment. The best way to get into alignment really is to get into yourself, right? To quiet down and to get really in touch with your body. That's the number one thing. And so I want to do this morning. I keep calling it a morning. I guess, why am I fighting it? I want to do this routine with you, which ideally would be best experienced in the morning because it sets your day right. But it can't always be done in the morning. Sometimes it can be done, sometimes you don't have time in the morning. So you do it whenever you can. That's what I do. Sometimes in the middle of the day, sometimes at night, at any time where you feel, I just can't take it anymore. I need a break. I need something. If you find yourself going like, I just need something, try doing this routine. Try doing just what we're going to do together right now. I promise you that it will shift something in your energetic field. It will change something, and even just a tiny adjustment will make a difference as to what comes next, right? Like your energetic field will adjust your frequency, and that frequency will also affect what sort of shows up in your life. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after. So let's just set up our day for now. Okay, so deep breath. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to just breathe in. Oh, let's light the candle first. My mic has not been working great the last couple of days. Just let me know if you're watching, if you can hear me, because I'm a little annoyed that the sound is not as great as I'd like it to be. But whatever. I'm working on it. Also, the lighting. I've been trying to get the studio a little bit more. I don't know. I'm working on it. Working on stuff, but still showing up, right? Making adjustments, calibrating. All right, so here we go. We've lit our candle. This is a new one because yesterday was too much trouble. This is from Christmas, Tinsel in Time. I think my mom bought that for me. All right, so we have our candle. Put some essential oils. Oh, I need some more of this. I like to use the sacred frankincense from Young Living. But I have like all sorts of essential oils. But that way, I really like sacred frankincense for my, because it just helps me feel centered. Let's just say that. Okay. So the next thing that we're doing here, sorry. Like I said, let me know if you're here. Say hi if you're watching this at another time. Just let me know that that you guys are watching. Okay, so let's do 3 deep breaths, right? We're going to take a deep breath in. Okay, I usually do for like a more or less a 5 count breath in, hold for 5, and then exhale for 10. And what this does is it's just going to regulate the body, right? We're just going to get the body into a calm, grounded state, right? And so by increasing the exhale in your breathing, that helps with letting your body know, hey, everything's okay. All right, so let's go right now. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And release. And when you're releasing, purse your lips like this. It will help the, sort of air to release a little bit more slowly. It controls your breath. All right, let's do that again. Deep breath in and hold. And release. Okay, last deep breath. Make it count. Ready? Hold. And release. Good. Get all that breath out. All right. And you might cough. Okay. So now we're going to do a little stretching. Okay. So this is the routine, right? You start with breath. Then you do a little stretching. You can combine it, do stretching and breath. Obviously, when you're stretching, you're going to need to breathe, right? And the stretching aspect, we talk about this every day that you join me, but it is about releasing the tension. It is about releasing that stuck and stagnant energy, wherever it may be for you. For me, it's very much in the shoulders, the head, the neck. This upper area for me is very, very stiff. It has a lot of, sort of tension. And so at the very least, we want to start our day, or if we're feeling stressed or tense, right? We want to release some of that tension. And that happens with stretching and then shaking, right? And the more you can shake, and you can jump, dance, you want to shake it out. You want to shake, okay? You want to just get that energy out. And if you can be outside and you can put it into the ground, even better, because Mother Nature will take that energy and transmute it into something important for the universe. And we don't really need it, but Earth does. All right. Now let's take a deep breath together and start our prayer. Now, I have a little prayer that I've written to start my day. I recommend that you say whatever feels connected to your spiritual team, right? If you have a prayer that you've said, I used to say the Our Father all the time because I grew up that way. That may be something you want to say. You may have a different prayer. You may want to just put your own words together and say something from the heart. This is your connection with your spiritual team, and it is your way of asking your team to come and help you with your day. Okay, so this is just like, hey, everyone, the message to your team when you're feeling overwhelmed, right? These are why we do these steps. You take a breath, you get into your body, and then you call in your spirit team and you say, I need your help. Help me get through this. Okay, so let's do that now together. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, my love, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right. So, the idea that we have to know everything and do it all perfectly all the time is ridiculous. And if that was true, at some point, everything would look the same. Like if we all did everything exactly the same, always perfectly, there was never any contrast, then we would never do anything differently. There would be no progress and no innovation. How sad would that be, right? You need to adjust your sails, or as I like to say, calibrate your energy as you learn, as you grow, so you can evolve. That's how you gain new perspectives. And you have to find new solutions. And that's how things get better for everyone, right? You open up your perspective. You look at things from a different way. You learn information. You grow. You go, oh, wow, that's new. I never knew that. That information then informs your following decisions, choices, and experiences. And that is really important for our collective evolution, for us, each of us personally, to allow ourselves to grow and change, and then collectively we can grow and change and move towards a better, more peaceful existence. So in the healing world, we talk a lot about frequency and alignment. And a lot of that may seem confusing, but I really love to look at things from that perspective, like frequency and alignment, because it makes it feel more scientific, if that makes sense, right? It takes the emotion out of it. And I know that sounds strange, but hear me out. When you're struggling with something and somebody says, change your attitude, it feels like an attack. Well, probably because it is. But even if a change in your attitude would help you find a solution or alleviate some of the struggle, it's hard to make an adjustment if you feel criticism, right? If someone's like, this is your fault, then even if it is your fault, you're less likely to want to accept that responsibility because it feels like an attack, right? Which I already said. Okay. So, but if you know that taking a different approach or making adjustments is part of the process, right? That's why I talk about calibrating your energy. It's easier to make a different choice. It's easier to try something else or change your mind as you receive more information, because then the focus is on how do you achieve what you want through practice, right? As you guys know, I am always talking about practice, and not you better fix yourself because you suck, right? What we want is like, here's the thing I want, and I want to move towards this thing that I want, whether it's like something in your life that you're achieving, a goal or whatever, right? You want to keep moving towards it, and you want to do whatever you can in order to make adjustments to get closer, to move closer to it, right? Just like an athlete who will consistently work on, certain things to make sure that when the time comes, they can, get over the hump or whatever is challenging them. They work on it over and over again. And that's what we need to do. That is why I focus so much on calibrating your energy, because when you approach something the same way over and over again, there will not be a different result, right? We already know that sort of definition of insanity. But regardless of whether we know that it's not going to change anything, we are always inclined to repeat those things that make us feel safe and secure. If I do something different, I don't know what the result is, so let me just keep doing the same thing because at least I feel safe. And that's why we have to practice calibrating, practice making small adjustments that feel safe to us, so that eventually one little adjustment at a time, and we can change our entire frequency, right? Now, let's talk about frequency and let's talk about calibrating your energy a little bit more specifically, right? And it's all about adjustments. And these adjustments affect the alignment, right? Excuse me. And whether or not you're in flow. And the more in flow you are in your life, the higher your frequency, right? And when your frequency is higher, you have access to whatever else is in that high frequency. Right? And I look at it like an elevator. If you've seen my show before, you've heard me talk about this before, but it really is like where your frequency is kind of where you're at in general, right? Like kind of your status quo, right? Your generalized sort of level of where you're at, right? And so what that is like when you get up in the morning and you walk out the door, you are walking out into that frequency, right? So like I said, I look at it like an elevator. So let's say you're on floor 2. So you're in the energy of everything that's on the second floor. So anything else that's in that same frequency, you're going to come across. This person that, thinks like you hear something on the radio because it's your stuff that you like to listen to, obviously, because that's where you have it tuned. Okay, you see where this is going? What you're paying attention to, what you are tuned to, what you are thinking, all of those things affect your frequency and will affect what you pay attention to, will affect what you notice, and will affect your experiences in your life. So if you are dissatisfied with the second floor of that elevator, like if life right now is like, I don't like what I'm encountering in my life, then you need to figure out how to shift your frequency so you can change, where the elevator gets off, right? Or where you get off, right? In the morning when you get out of the elevator. So you need to make the adjustment of that frequency. So if you want to be like on the 5th floor and see where things are at there, then you need to make adjustments accordingly so that you can look at things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, so that you can experience things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. And this is not a reflection of your worth or your knowledge or your intelligence. It is simply a reflection of where you're at. And it's not like low frequency, you're a terrible person, and high frequency, you're an amazing person, right? There are a lot of things in nature that are of low frequency because that just refers to kind of like where they are, right? Like the slugs and the bugs and the mosquitoes and the stuff that's in the earth is very important and very necessary for us to evolve, but they're on their own frequency. And it's a different frequency than where the birds are at. Like, I'm just saying. Everybody kind of is in their own frequency. And as humans, we do have the ability to shift where we are, to shift our focus, to shift our perspective, and to be in a different energetic place. Okay. Feel free to ask me questions if this doesn't make sense. And, just put them in the chat. All right. So how do you calibrate? Okay. So I've talked about that you need to calibrate, all of those things, but how do you calibrate? Well, we've already done some of the calibration together, right? So when we breathe, when we stretch, when we shake, when we pray, all of those things, all of those tiny little actions will have an effect on your physiological state, which calibrates you, which affects your energy, right? So if you're like all over the place and, you can't focus and you're freaking out and you're like, your energy is like up here, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed out, right? You are going to handle things differently. You're going to manage things differently. You're going to look at things differently than if you're able to, okay, just take a deep breath. Everything's okay. I'm safe. And then look at things, right? So that's the number one, is to get yourself into a regulated state. That is how you can calibrate best and immediately. Breathing, shaking, stretching, anything that involves your body. Dancing, yoga, right? That is like an immediate switch. It's an immediate calibration because it's going to change how you're reacting to things. It's going to change how you receive things. It changes everything, okay? And that's why calibrating your energy can literally change your life. And guess what? It's not a one and done thing. You don't just like calibrate once and that's it. Now you're calibrated and you're in this super high frequency for the rest of your life. No, this is a consistent practice. This is what you do every single day, every single moment, every time you are faced with a challenge, with a choice, with an action. You have the opportunity to calibrate your energy to be in alignment so that those, whatever you say and whatever you do is within that alignment, within the frequency that you want to embody to get the things that you want out of life. Okay. So this is how we do it. This is how we shift and change and transform our lives. It is by adjusting our reactions, adjusting our mood, adjusting our actions, adjusting how we look at things every single chance we get. Okay. Now, what I want to share with you is that the Me First method, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because the Me First method actually talks about 7 different aspects of things that you can calibrate. And I look at them as channels that you can calibrate. So we talked about mood. We talked about the physical aspect, of course, because that's a beautiful way to calibrate your energy. But each one of the channels that I talk about in Me First are also ways for you to calibrate, things for you to think about and think of how you are addressing that channel. For example, M is movement, right? M is movement and momentum. You can adjust how you're moving. You can adjust the things that you're doing and whether or not you are happy with the momentum of things in your life. And you can make adjustments accordingly. E is energy. And that really is sort of all about where your energy is going, and how you are taking care of your energy will affect how you feel. And that will contribute to you calibrating that energy, right? So that's M-E. M is movement, momentum. E is energy. F is focus, right? What are you focused on? What are you paying attention to? That totally affects your frequency. That's another thing you want to make sure you calibrate so that it is connected to how you want to live your life, right? I is for inner work. There's always things that we need to do within ourselves to make adjustments, right? And that inner work channel is when we go deep and we deep dive into our wounds, into our shadow selves, into our inner child, into all of the things. So that channel of inner work is the healing channel. That's where we get the work done, right? Where we go deep. Then we have R for relationships, because of course you can calibrate your energy with the relationships in your life. And in fact, when you're paying attention to the calibration of your energy and the relationships that you have and the relationship between you and that person, when it comes to your energy, when you start paying attention to that channel, you're going to start to pay attention to whether or not you are able to calibrate with someone or you're calibrating to someone, and whether that is an advantage, right? And that is working for you as an advantage in your relationship or whether that is working against you because that person is not in alignment with your highest and greatest good. That's a whole other thing, and we will talk about that. And if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out. All right. The S is for showing up, and that is definitely something you need to calibrate too. You need to figure out how you're showing up in the world, when you're showing up in the world, and whether or not that showing up is putting you in the frequency that you need to be, again, in order to be connected to the thing you want most in life, right? And the final channel that we talk about in the Me First method is T, and that's trust. And building trust with yourself, building trust with the universe, and learning how to trust and surrender is a very important channel in the Me First method, and is something that we talk about a lot in Calibrating Our Energy, because you really have to just let go and trust in this process. All right. So this is such a big topic, and I could go on and on and on and on and on about it for a very long time, but I just want to give you sort of the basics with this show. If you really want to go deep, and you want further support in fine-tuning your frequencies, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me. You can go ahead and get your free guide. It's the free Me First Quick Reference Guide. Just go into the description of this video. I have a link for you there. And feel free to make an appointment with me. In one session, we can sit down and you'll have all you need to practice calibrating your frequency and getting alignment with your highest and greatest good. You and I will work through it. We'll figure out your GPS word. We'll figure out what the channels are in your life that you need to pay more attention to. And we'll even talk about which adjustments that you can make right now to start seeing results in your life. So if you need support with that, do not hesitate and make sure you reach out to me through any of my channels. Send me a private message or just comment on the video and I'll reach out to you. All right. So that is sort of the lesson on calibrating your energy for the moment today. Tomorrow we will go deeper and we will actually talk about the GPS. We are going to go deep on the GPS, how to find your GPS and how to connect with what you truly, truly want. We will do that tomorrow. In the meantime, I am going to pull cards and we are going to see what Spirit wants you to know about calibrating your energy. Okay, so here we go. Let me just... Thank you for showing us what we need to know, the signs and synchronicities that we need to be paying attention to for our day in order to further our energetic calibration to achieve the highest and greatest frequency for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you. All right, here we go. Oh, these cards, they're like, just pull the card. They get stuck. Okay, fine. Pulling it. Gentle Gardener. Look at this. It is the perfect card. Okay, can you guys see it? Oh, I know it's upside. I keep forgetting to put this in reverse so that the cards I show you won't be the mirror version, but whatever. Okay, one thing at a time. We're calibrating. So this is the number 2. And the number 2, I love the number 2 because for me, it's always like you're never alone. It's always you in spirit. Everything that you do in your life, it's always you in spirit. You and spirit. Well, you in spirit too, right? Everything we do is in spirit. Because spirit lives within us. Because we are the spirit of life and the spirit of everything. All right. So the Gentle Gardener card, what this is exactly what it looks like, right? You plant the seeds, right? So the topic is calibrating your energy, right? And like I said, tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more specifically about the GPS. And that GPS is important because that is what you calibrate to, right? And what the GPS is it is your feeling word. It is your foundation, right? So it's the thing that you want most. What I want most is whatever that is, peace, abundance, safety, security, whatever that is for you. And the Gentle Gardener reminds us that it is one sort of caring action at a time, right? Or even allowing ourselves to step back and allow the garden to just evolve as it needs to, right? You have to water the plants. You have to nurture your garden. You have to make sure that it's getting light. You have to make sure that you are paying attention to its growth and make adjustments. Maybe you need to add a little extra soil. Maybe you need to, take some plants out of the area that are not helping it grow. Maybe you need to plant something next to it to help it grow, right? In I'm laughing because I'm not a gardener at all, but but my brother is. You should follow him, Hydra Garden. Anyway, my brother is, and we talk about this all the time because, when we are talking about nature and when we're talking about a garden, if we see a plant or a flower or something and it's struggling in its environment, we do not think the plant is stupid. We don't think the plant is broken. We don't think the plant, is having mental issues, right? We're like, what's happening in this environment that's not allowing that plant to thrive? And that's what calibrating your energy is all about. It is not about fixing you specifically, but it is about making adjustments, maybe setting boundaries, maybe just making adjustments in what you're paying attention to. And all those channels we talk about, adjustments in your momentum, adjustments in your energy, adjustments in what you're focusing on, adjustments in your personal relationships, adjustments in how you're showing up. All of those things, tiny little adjustments, tiny little things that you can do that will create some other result that's what's not happening now. Because if you just leave something, whatever happens, it evolves naturally. But if you actually want to nurture something, if you want to become something or someone, if you have a goal or a dream, then you need to nurture that, and you need to do it one step at a time, one action at a time, one decision at a time. And it is all within your control. And you don't have to think like, oh, I have to do this whole big thing. It is a gentle gardening experience. Oh, I don't like how this is going. I need to make a little adjustment. Oh, I don't like how this feels. I need to make a little adjustment. Oh, this is not where I wanted to end up. What can I adjust, right? And if you allow yourself to accept that this is just the process, that this process of life is about planting seeds, nurturing those seeds, and then seeing what grows. And then you can decide what to do with those seeds when they grow. And you can decide, oh, wow, I'm going to, take these plants, I'm going to, cut these flowers and put them on the table. Or, oh, wow, this is bearing fruit. You grab the fruit, you make something with it. You get to decide, right? But the process, the only thing that you truly need to be focused on is on you, the seeds that you're planting, and how you are nurturing them. And if within that process, you feel connected to what you are doing in the moment, because then everything else after will take care of itself. If you are watering your plant, if you are nurturing your plant, if you are giving it love and sun, plant/goal idea, right? Life. If you are nurturing your life, if you are planting the seeds that you want and nurturing those seeds, then eventually something will bloom that connects with the deepest part of your soul, because that's the thing that you have been nurturing. All right, so take some time today and think about what you're nurturing, how you can nurture it, and what adjustments can you make so that you can begin to thrive a little bit more. Okay, that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. And I just want to say, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Me First Moments. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on any of my social media channels. You can find all that stuff in the description. And I really wish that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.